gentlemen, and welcome to the Hobart Real Tennis Club for the second semi-final in the Australian Open Singles for 2025 between Robert Fahey and Camden Riviere. You've got Camden's stats there on the screen. I'm Alistair Curley, and I'm going to be one of your commentators today, along with the great
Ben Taylor Matthews.
Indeed, it's Dumb and Dumber here for your listening pleasure for this match. And so, yeah, Ben, what are you thinking about for this match? What's your initial thoughts we've got in prospect today?
Well, I'm just looking at Camden's career highlights, which are, quite frankly, just filthy to look at. But I've got a feeling the next person's career highlights are going to be needing extra TV space. Yeah, I mean, two of the best players ever. So obviously with Rob's ranking dropping a little bit, they're meeting in the semis now instead of finals. Camden would probably rather not have somebody like a Rob in a semi, but yeah, it's a hot day. I think that's going to suit Camden a bit more than Rob.
Rob's never been fond of playing in the heat.
And Camden lives in it.
And Camden lives in it in Charleston. And Rob, 50 Opens, he's won. And obviously the world champion for a very long time, 94 to 2016, and then again from 18 to 22. And as you say, look at those stats.
I think the production team must have had to use a smaller font size to get that in.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that hasn't been said about Rob's career. We won't dwell on that too much, but it's great to see him back on the court where he learned the game. A certain person, one of our commentary team, even taught him the game, which is, despite that, he became world champion. But, you know, we live in hope with Kieran Booth being in the already in the final. Maybe it could be an all-Tasmanian final.
It could be. It certainly could be an all-Australian Tasmanian final. Camden will be looking to not let that happen, of course.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
You gave me a very
Can I get a little bit of quiet, please?
At dinner the other day, Alistair, where you said that they've played each other 30 times.
Yep.
And welcome to the second men's semi-finals of the 2025 Australian Open. A couple of housekeeping matters. Please make sure your phones are either off or on silent.
Basically,
and no flash
World
photography.
Championship losses for Cam in the last
Down the receiving end, out of the Westwood Country Club, we have Camden Riviere.
Jackson Pastel was your marker today, introducing the players.
At the service end, playing out of the Oratory and Hobart's favourite son, Robert Fahey. Match is the best of 5 6-game sets. Play well.
Here we go.
Faults. No, down. Better than 2. And more than a yard worse.
So Ben, Rob's handicap, his best ever handicap, is plus 18.4. Cam's on his current best ever handicap, plus 17.5. What's your best ever handicap?
I got to plus
no
9
first
point
chase
something
is
in Melbourne actually
2.
after beating Rory Gunn, but it wasn't quite 9.5, so I couldn't call myself a plus 10 annoyingly, and it's
no, for better than 6.
It's been downhill ever since.
Second chase is more than a yard worse than the last
Getting
gallery.
Closer to 0 by the day. That's a good serve. Yeah.
30 love.
It's good railroading court, this one.
Is it?
Yes.
For some people, maybe. Oh yeah, there it is, right on cue.
40 love.
Yeah, that kind of, he's just so kind of lazy with it, isn't he? Just keeps rolling
rolls
it
his
in.
arm over, but it's good.
And 2 and 3. 40 love, 1 chase.
Now, if these players at any point during the match think that it's warm out there, they should come and sit in this commentary box.
It's a little oven, isn't it?
I mean, the commentary area here in the back of this van is absolutely superb. Here we go. Look, you can see my head glistening already. I've only been in here for 5 minutes.
Receiver leads, 40
The commentary
love.
position is absolutely
Chases
brilliant.
2 and 3.
But it is slightly weather affected, shall we say?
It's like sitting in a tin can outside. Might sweat off a few pounds.
Yeah, exactly. It could be good for weight loss.
No, fell better than 5. 15, 40.
Ooh.
30, 40. And the game, 1 game to love.
Subdued opening first game there. Not too many fireworks yet.
Not so far.
Bolt.
It's just such a shame.
Down, better than 3.
In everywhere else.
Eat everywhere else, as you say. It is a small grill.
Stroke. 15 love.
Camden finding some very, very good length in these early exchanges.
Yes, and I don't think Rob will be keen to indulge in many long rallies.
And worse than 5. 2 chases.
And putting aside the fact that Rob probably won't want to run for everything these days, it's still quite an achievement at 3 months short of 57 that he's still doing this.
Yeah, almightily impressive. He's obviously adapted his game a lot over certainly the last decade, with a view to keeping those rallies a bit shorter wherever possible.
Do you think the extra tech rackets really helped him?
Well, I've only ever known extra tech.
Server leads,
so
15 love. First chase is better than
very kind
3.
of you to say. I guess so. You know, as the career has moved towards the twilight, being able to get a bit of extra
than 5.
pace and zip on the shots can only be a good thing.
Certainly those
15,
extra tech
30.
rackets, they really enabled a bit more forcing to be effective in the game, and certainly that suited Rob's evolving game as he got a bit older.
Certainly in the current Rob Fahey, should we say, current version of Rob.
Worse than the last gallery. $40-15, 1 chase.
Camden's got quite an unusual shirt there, with quite a bit of colour around the neck, from a brand apparently called Sexy Ted.
Yes, that's quite new. When did I see him wearing those for the first time? May have been the British Open, quite possibly. Yeah, there's a bit of there's a flash of colour on the kind of, not the collar, where the button area, isn't there?
The placket.
Is that what it's called?
The placket.
Well, there you go.
So
Receiver leads,
it's an educational
40-15, chase is
already.
worse than the last gallery.
Last time I commentated, I was talking about a geezer in Yellowstone National Park. So
Time, please, Rob.
There's a few geezers at the club this week.
Exactly, you get it all in the commentary box.
Yeah.
On the chase and the game. 2 games to love.
A solid start by the world champion. Rob, not yet quite found the openings like he typically does.
Yard better than second gallery. $15 love.
It's been happening a lot this week. You just try and kind of stab the ball to a length and it just doesn't react very much off your racket. And you just kind of prod it into the net and look like a bit of a volley.
Do you think the humidity's playing any role in where the court's playing? I mean, it's a little bit more humid than normal.
40 love at the chase.
Where are we at with humidity percentage-wise? 60 or something?
We're consulting Wikipedia as we speak.
Which I would say isn't that bad. I mean, England for the last 3 weeks has been like 80 plus every day, which does affect some courts massively. It looks pretty dry out there. Do you know what? I lost
30%.
30%. Yeah, I got killed. Right. Yeah, let's go with that. The courts. Yeah, the humidity's really affecting everything.
Now, speaking of Mr. Fahey, you're playing with him this year in the doubles. Is that your first time?
Server leads, 40 love. Chase is a yard better than the second gallery.
I'll give you a very brief rundown of the first time at the next change of ends.
And the game, 3 games to love. Time please, Cam.
That's good.
Yeah, another very tight serve.
15 love.
Tough to force as well.
It's been pretty ruthless so far from the current world champion, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Great love.
It just, from somebody who's played here all week, it hits that back wall and it just, no matter how many times you know it's going to happen,
15-30.
It ends up being a yard closer to the back wall than you think, and you just can't process it based on the speed it comes in with, and it just keeps happening. There we go.
That's
41.
Yes. But that's more trademark.
Hopefully he's just finding his range for tomorrow.
So quick.
40-30. And the game, 4 games to love. First set.
Quick game there for Camden.
Yes, and sometimes think it might actually be easier for Rob to win points from the hazard end.
No, nearly a yard worse. $15 love.
I said I'd give you a rundown of our doubles next time they change ends.
I won't forget that.
They've got to change ends first. Oh, here we go. Nearly a yard worse. Sorry. It's going to pop up. God.
So yes, the first time you played with Rob.
Actually, in
15 all.
An Australian
Open. Chase.
Wow. In Melbourne?
In Melbourne. Good shot. Oh.
30-15.
Both players' shoulders sunk there as that ball dropped into the neck. Yeah, Melbourne.
Hazard, better
Australian
than
Open
one.
doubles pre-COVID, and it was just an absolute honour to play with him. Of course, when I first started playing, he was at the top and I kind of thought, oh, it'd be nice to be able to play him one day. Little did I know I'd be able to play him when he was still, you know, be able to compete with him as I'm kind of at or somewhere around my peak. So played with him. We played Nick Howell and I don't know who we played first, which is a bit rude. We played Nick Howell and John Lumley in a match that on paper we probably should have won. And as we were warming up, Rob said to me,
receiver leads, 30-15. First chase is nearly a yard worse than the last gallery.
And I just thought, I can't do either of those things. And I didn't. And we lost.
40-15, Hazard, better than one.
Yeah, through no fault of Rob's, I was like I think I said it in commentary the other day, a deer in headlights. Completely in awe of what was happening around
me. 5 games to love.
But if he keeps playing like this, I might have to put him at the galleries tomorrow. Willard, can we edit that bit out, please?
Good ear.
15 love.
An unforced error there.
Can't be underestimated how difficult it is for Camden to play that little kind of slider down the line, and he just plays it with dead weight. Creative.
Sorry, Cam?
Worse than second.
Worse than second, thank you. 15 love, 1 chase. And worse than second gallery.
Now, Rob, for people who may not know this, Rob was a torchbearer at the Olympics.
Yes, of course.
But it's a measure of how long he's been playing. We're talking about the 2000
Sydney
Olympics in Sydney 24 years ago.
25 years ago.
25 years ago now. He carried the Olympic torch here in Hobart.
It was absolutely brilliant to see, you know, the kind of a minor sport being recognised for something.
Server
like
leads, 15 love. First chase is Hazard, worse than the second gallery. Hazard. Fault. Love, worse than the second gallery.
Overspun that one.
30.
Gave Rob a bit of a free hit.
And nearly a yard worse.
No.
Wow.
He's got it tight as well. It's snuck past. Oh.
40-15, 1 chase.
Trick shots, but no points.
Yes.
Yeah. And Rob also is the world champion for the penthouse run.
So I hear.
Yeah, so achieved here when he
None
was
of you guys
a
do
good
that
deal younger.
shoulders out, okay?
Starting above that very small grill and running all the way around. 6.83 seconds.
I mean, that's an extremely impressive time, of course. For some reason in my head,
Receiver
I
leads,
figured you'd start at the service end, but I
chase
don't know why.
is nearly a yard worse than the last gallery.
I wonder if it's quicker from one side to the other.
Won the chase and the game and the first set.
Pretty
6
quick
games
set there.
to love.
Dominant set from Camden.
Yes,
Second set, level.
very little trouble for the world champion there. Let's see what happens.
Rob will be thinking to himself, if he's going to lose sets, losing them in 20 minutes is fine. I'd rather lose a 20-minute set than a 45-minute set.
Better than 5. Fault. One yard, 2 chases.
I should add, we don't recommend penthouse running and don't support it. It's banned at this club, I know. But you know, it can be dangerous, but it's certainly something I've seen around the world. Hobart's one of the better courts. It's not the biggest court, so you don't want to be trying some of the bigger courts.
Small court, flat penthouse.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be attempting it at Paris.
No, you'd need climbing boots.
Yeah.
To stick.
I'd want I'd want like those special shoes with like rubber on the bottom.
First chase is better than 5.
Suction pads.
Bolts.
Tom Cruise-like.
Exactly. And the penthouse here is obviously not only short but flat. And even dipped in some places. It might feel like you're running downhill if you get it right.
Out of court. 15 love. Second chase is 1 yard.
It's a very interesting feature of the court here with the out of play or the in-court area circling the entire circumference of those windows.
What's your feeling on that,
15 all.
Ben?
I mean, it's a bit... Thanks, Gary. Well...
You're just talking to me.
Well,
30, 15.
you have to have them there because otherwise the out of play line is just too low, and that would be more silly. But it is very difficult when you kind of your opponent kind of defends a ball and it's going up there, and you just think, where's it going? Because it's going through quite a lot of things visually, so you can lose sight of it a little bit. You obviously hope, but you almost feel unlucky when it hits the wall in between the windows. You know what I mean?
30 all.
But it's one of the quirks. Finally, some sparkling water to cool us down. Lovely. Cheers.
Did you hit it? Better than half a yard. 30 all, 1 chase. Out of court.
That's a shame for Rob.
40-30.
And of
Now,
course,
go on, sorry.
Yeah, you go.
Well, as I was going to say, as we know, Rob, Australian summer, bit of a kind of a holiday event for him here, but he's still an extremely competitive man, and certainly won't want the scoreline to be too one-sided if he were to lose today. As we see, the female goat.
Yes. Soon we'll have a record, potentially could have a record even greater than her husband's.
Gearing up for a
receiver leads 40-30.
semi-final
Chase is
tomorrow,
better than half a yard.
ladies singles final on Monday. Oh, good leave.
Juice.
Camden saying that was never in. Was he talking about his force or Rob's serve?
Advantage. Receiver.
He looked like he had a serious look on his face.
Out of court. Juice. Ball up, please, Rob.
It's in. It's not. It should be.
Hazard, second gallery.
Maybe they could draw a line around it, an extra sort of foot around it, and if you hit that, it lit up.
Which is half a point.
Count. You get half a point.
Better than 2.
Now, okay, coming away from the match for a moment, we are very happy that Hobart's hosting the Open this year because it's the Hobart Real Tennis Club's 150th birthday this year. 1875 was the year this court was built, and it's the 9th oldest real tennis club in the world.
No, I didn't know that, but as you said 1875, I kind of thought of a few courts in the UK which I know are later.
Juice.
So I was
First chase
thinking
is
it must be
Hazard,
pretty old in the
second
grand
gallery
scheme of things.
Hazard.
So yes, they're doing a kind of year-long celebration, I think, aren't they? And this is kicking off with the Open. We've got a nice tournament. Oh no! Go on! Go on! A lovely dinner this evening, tournament dinner.
Receiver's points. Advantage receiver, better than 2.
First bit of celebration for the. What is the 150th? It's got a
Sesquicentenary.
Yeah, I was going to say some
Chase.
strange long name
Juice.
that I can't pronounce.
Sesquicentenary.
Sesquicentenary.
Advantage receiver.
Would this be Rob's first game point?
It's definitely. I mean, he may have had one in this game, but it's certainly the closest game we've seen so far. I think he saved a few in this game, actually, isn't he?
Game.
There we go. Oh, an ironic celebration from Rob Fahey. I never thought I'd see that.
First game, second set, 1 game to love.
That'll be a huge sigh of relief.
Yes.
Come on, Rob.
I think the crowd think they've got him. Oh no. Oh, that's a shame. Such a good game.
15 love.
Incredible read there from Rob. Shot.
15 all.
Signature backhand volley.
He's done that a few times.
30-15.
And that backhand volley is very much the same backhand volley he had on the lawn tennis court too.
Okay.
Exactly the same.
So 4 and 5. 30-15, 1 chase.
There's another one.
30 all. 30 all. Oh, that's unlucky. Hazard the line.
And as we say, yes, a year of celebrations for Hobart, and the next event after this will be in March when Hobart will
It's got to go in.
host its annual match against Melbourne for the Percy Finch Trophy. But not only is it happening in this sesquicentennial year, it's the 60th Percy Finch, which started in 1965.
Oh, that's good.
And I think the locals will know that Hobart's had a stranglehold over that event in recent years over Melbourne, with certain Mr. Booth leading their team.
He plays for Hobart, does he?
He does play for Hobart. Yes.
Score is
Does
30
Melbourne.
all. First chase is 4 and 5.
Oh, yes.
Great shot.
40-30, hazard the line.
You make that look easy and it's not.
It's definitely not.
Juice. Worse than the last gallery.
Oh, that's so good.
No, down. Worse than 2.
so quick around
One
the
shot.
court, and his anticipation's phenomenal as well as his natural speed. I always say to people, if you're watching Camden in a match, just watch his feet for a few points, and you'll see how beautifully he moves around the court. I don't think anyone's ever moved any better than him.
It's just the speed in which he was under pressure in that rally, and then one quick change of step, and he's able to just kind of hit that inside-out backhand down the line, glue to the wall, and all of a sudden, you know, trust me, I've been in Rob's position there a few times, and you just think, oh, it's just the switch has been flipped from
first
defense
chase
to
is
attack.
worse than the last gallery.
Doesn't even bother to do the neutralising shot that the rest of us have to do.
Advantage receiver. You're right with that ball, Cam.
Generosity.
Not known for his charity in shots like that.
And we've
Second
just
chase
been
is
casually
worse
going
than
about
two.
our business here, kind of watching the scoreboard tick over in Camden's favour. Rob does have game point for a 2-love lead here. Oh, that's not going to do it though.
Juice.
Rob.
Advantage server. Out of court.
So I take that
game,
back.
one game all. Second set.
Rob's got game point for two games to love, and within 25 seconds, it's one game all. You see there, yeah. Camden winning twice the number of points as Rob so far.
15 love. Love.
2 points from 2 dead on.
Hazard, second gallery. Time, please, Cam.
Speed again.
15-30.
Go.
14-15, one chase. Can we have the bowls, please, lads?
How many bananas do you think these guys get through in a game of tennis?
Bowls, please.
The only reason I ask is because Kieran produces more bananas than India, I think.
Kieran's quite the banana eater
It's-
when it comes to a match.
2 bunches
Yes.
in his side gallery today. I thought the guy's going to die of like potassium poisoning or something.
Well,
And I think he gets through all of them as well. It was amazing.
Oh, you're probably hoping he succumbs
Well,
to
I mean,
potassium poisoning.
wouldn't want anybody to be poisoned,
No.
but just a bit of a light stomach upset would have been nice.
Yes. And of course, this court here, you saw Cam running that ball down. It's not the fastest back wall here. You can run them down.
Well, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it is the fastest wall in the world. I think that's where I struggled.
Melbourne, it would certainly be a bit slicker off that back wall.
Yes, yeah, very kind of explosive off the back wall there for sure.
So Rob here,
Trevor
chance to
leads
take a 2-1 lead.
40-15. Chase is Hazard, the second gallery.
Doing
Hazard.
a row.
Yeah, Hazard's second gallery is tough to defend. That's not bad though. Well done. Oh, that's trouble. Oh no! Go on, miss.
30-40.
Now, what happens if Rob throws his racket there and Camden lands his shot on the racket and it goes back over?
What do you think happens, or should happen?
I think it's a stroke to Camden.
It is a stroke to Camden, correct. Got to have control of the racket.
Must be, yes, exactly. An extension of your arm.
Deuce.
It's a shame.
Yes, he'll be disappointed he didn't
Opportunity there.
get that back at least.
I say that's a shame. Obviously, we're neutral.
Yes.
Go on. No, no. As I said, neutral. I'm just a fan of seeing good tennis, whoever's doing it.
And I mean, it's good to see Robert on the court. Won't be there forever. Though that's
4 yards.
he might have a different view about that. Now, Ben, obviously this being 2025, it's also World Championship year. Tell us about your World Championship plans.
Well, I'm playing in them, so that's good news. Managed to finish in one of the 4 qualifying spots, so that was nice. Yeah, we at Bristol tried to get the match played on UK soil, but unfortunately we were outdone by the US again, so I'll be off to South Carolina in March.
No, lost chase, fell worse than 5. Game, so 2 games to 1.
The whole process will be in the US again.
15 love.
So it's 2-1 to Camden here, but Rob's had game points in all 3 games.
Yes.
Yeah, 26% from the service end. That's a standard.
Better than
Looking to improve.
Better than 1. $15 all. $30-15.
So the danger for Rob here is that Cam gets a quick run on and then the set slips through his fingers very quickly.
It could.
40-15, 1 chase.
He's still got so much power in his legs, Rob, isn't he? Such good legs.
Yes. So coming back to World Championship, for those who are not familiar with the format, Camden Riviere will be waiting as champion to play in the beautiful Newport, Rhode Island in September this year, and there's a series of eliminators. First eliminator, Ben will be playing in, as he said, Aiken, South Carolina against Nick Howe.
Receiver leads 40-15, chase is better than 1.
Will be playing Steve Vergona.
In 2 venues.
In 2 venues. They're playing a home and away.
I assume they've nominated Philadelphia and Chicago.
Yes.
Nearly a yard worse than the last gallery.
And depending on the winners of those matches, there could be the final eliminator could be played in a range of places.
It could be, yeah. I'll let you explain that one. It could be all over the place.
Well, if Nick Howe beats Ben Taylor Matthews, Aiken will have won a bid to host the final eliminator.
Server leads 40-30, chase is nearly a yard worse.
So what we do know is it's not happening in Aiken.
Yes. But
well done.
Yes, right. But should Ben beat Nick, there would be a home and away match.
3 games to 1.
Because
what if John beat? Was John's bid contingent on him playing Nick? Camden.
No, actually, I think you're right. I think it's.
So I think if John and I win, it's in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
If Nick wins, it's in Aiken, regardless.
Yeah.
And if Steve and I win, we really upset the apple cart.
Chicago and Bristol.
Yeah, that'll be fun. wonder if I can get the TNRA to help me with that.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
It's a good read. Good get. It's going to come round. What a rally this is. Oh, what a rest. Yeah, acknowledgement from Camden there.
15 love.
Should be said, that's exactly the type of rally that Rob does not want.
Stroke.
That's the type of rally he wants.
Certainly not more than
15
one
all.
every so often of those sorts of rallies.
Few and far between would be fine if you're in Rob's corner. Wow, that's got to the middle of the court. Oh, that's just incredible length from Camden.
30-15.
Great get.
All.
Ah.
Fault. Thank you.
Oh, fault. Shame. Shame.
It was a shame.
Well,
Better
popped
than
up
4.
Rob looking a little bit red out there.
30
I
all,
was
1
thinking
chase.
exactly that. It's a signature look in the warm weather.
Oh, good game. And again. Oh, that's trouble. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the weather's just ramped up in the last couple of days, isn't it? It's been a nice,
40-30
perfect kind
and a
of
chase.
20-21 for the first part of the week, and then we just got suckered in with a 29 yesterday, and I think it's the same again today.
Yeah, and again, you know, had we played this tournament in Melbourne, it would have been well into the 30s today and a lot less comfortable.
Yeah.
But certainly for Hobart, this is quite warm weather.
I always have the same kind of thought process. If it's hot, it's hot. It's not hotter. If you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah.
So 30 or 40, it's hot.
It's hot.
I remember playing Rory Gunn, actually. In fact, this might have been the match that got me.
Receiver leads
+9.
40-30. Chase is better than 4.
Just before the knock-up, I thought I saw somebody walking around with a wet towel, and I thought, that's a good idea. I'll put some cold water on the towel. Brought it down to the court, had our knock-up, went to grab the wet towel to cool myself down. It was boiling hot in 10 minutes.
That was in Aiken.
That was in Melbourne. I think it was kind of day 4 of like a 45-degree
Game.
heat wave.
4 games to 1.
We were playing at 1 p.m. That was fun.
Ball.
It was quick, at least.
And I'll come back to Melbourne Heat when the next change ends.
$15 love.
Now, this is what happens when you play Camden. The scoreboard, you feel like you're in it, and the scoreboard just keeps ticking along negatively. Well, as in, if you're his opponent, you know. So all of a sudden, 4-1. Rob's been in every game so far. Little apology from Rob there. I think that was a little bit body line.
Yes.
There we go.
15-30. 40-15.
Oh dear.
Game.
So
5 games to 1.
We all know over the years, Australian Open, it's often been quite hot for at least a few of the days. They now have a heat policy there, a formal heat policy, and play will stop when the court temperature reaches a particular point. I can't remember the number right now.
Okay.
And
Like they do with the lawn tennis over there.
Exactly the same as the lawn tennis. I mean, if you're going to have a heat policy 500 yards across the road at the tennis centre, probably reasonable to have one at the RMTC.
Makes sense.
But
I suppose the difficulty with that is the heat stays inside. So, you know, if it cools down outside, that doesn't mean anything for the court for a while. That's a good policy, though. Absolutely right to have something like that in place in such a warm country. That's good. It's the same backhand volley Rob had at the game point down in the last game.
Time, please, Rob. Well. Pretty love, 1 chase.
I always call it the vital 7th.
Yeah, exactly. It says it all, doesn't it? When, you know, how many unforced errors Camden makes when you see one, and it's you suddenly kind of, oh,
you notice
it's a surprise.
We might see if we can get some information on the heat policy. I think it's on their website. Recently been published. But anyway, it's an interesting move, and again, you know, we think about player safety, and you know, it can get very, very warm on that court in Melbourne, particularly in the afternoon with the sun.
Receiver leads, 40
so
love.
We've always got to keep that
Chase
in
is
mind.
worse than 5.
I think it's a good idea.
One chase.
I might see if we can instigate the same policy in the UK, but for cold weather.
Well, that's the difference. So here, 36 degrees. If it reaches 36 degrees Celsius on the court temperature,
it can't be Fahrenheit. That would be
no 36 C. Players abandoned or postponed. Yep. So that's not super hot.
Is that just in tournaments, or is that just like a day-to-day? Are members allowed to choose to play, or is it just an automatic shutdown? That's what, sorry?
Members players, well, I suppose in member safety, they might be less fit people.
Yeah, they may have had a slightly different pre-match routine as well. That Rob Fahey signature cut volley starting to pay dividends, followed by a signature main header.
He's hit a few of those on this court over the years. I wonder if we should institute the heat policy for the commentary position.
Well, if that were to be the case, we wouldn't be here. Yeah, it is absolutely roasting in here.
15, 1 chase.
Camden looking very smooth here.
Yeah.
Grease lightning around the court.
Relatively few errors, and you know, and of course, when you're under pressure like this, you have to go for your shots, and it puts more pressure on these opponents to try and find winners that they maybe shouldn't take on.
Well, that's what he does. He kind of forces you into having to overplay, or he lulls you into overplaying.
Receiver leads 40-15.
Just like that,
Chase
a set
is
point.
better than 2.
2 set points, in fact. It's a great railroad.
Lost the chase.
Great serve on better than 2.
Yes.
30-40.
minutes, Simon.
It looked like it was going to, didn't it? No. 2 set points saved.
Juice.
There we go.
Advantage server.
Camden is something in his eye there. Still trying to shake it out. That's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
40-15 down.
Game. 3 games to 5. Ball up, please, Rob.
Vintage Rob.
No, it's not.
I'll just leave it, he said. It's too
I'd be
far
the
to
most
walk.
unpopular man in Hobart if you tripped on that.
That's fine, he says. Good serve.
Right. Oh, it's judgment there. Left.
15 love.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
30 love.
Rob waves his arms at the main wall, following his doubles partner's lead from this morning. Oh,
Top spin forehand.
yeah. Knew that post was on the way.
Better than 6. 30 love.
Yep.
Now, Ben, obviously we're
40 love
talking
and
about
the
playing
chase.
tennis here in Australia in the summer, and it's pretty warm. Where are some of the places that have been really cold or are really cold for you to play tournaments?
I remember playing in the World Championship doubles in 2007 in Boston,
Always cold in winter.
and that was when the roof was what's the word? Not a roof, should we say?
Things came in.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was minus 25 Celsius outside. And
Server
because
leads.
of
40
the,
love. Chase is better than 6.
because of the non-continuous roof, shall we say, it was minus 5 on court. That was pretty bad. Exhibition stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
there's another one. But I mean, in the
15,
UK, in the
40.
middle of winter, anything that's kind of, you know, like a Queen's Club or a Lord's, which is part of a big facility, they're all fine. But anything else. Oh, it's made it. Hardwick House, Hatfield House, Moulton Moral, any of these kind of
40.
freestanding courts are absolutely Baltic and not in the least bit fun.
Well, I know that Rob told me how he had a glass of water
Better than the door.
at Boston. I don't know if
Thank
it was
you.
the same year, but the glass of water froze.
Hazard better than the door.
Ice. It was so cold. And you watched the footage, and everyone was rugged up to play.
Yes, there was. I mean, I actually played against Mike Gooding.
Receiver leads. 40-30.
The late,
Chase is
great
hazard
Mike
better
Gooding.
than the door.
He was
Hazard.
wearing a kind of, he looked like a burglar. He had a little beanie on, like a dark jumper or something, which he got forced to take off, obviously. He was fuming about it. Yeah, that goes down as an error from Camden. Had a small look at the galleries to take the set there.
Service point.
And that's 5
Juice.
set points that Rob has saved here. Cam's just having a quick look up at the sky. Quick word with himself. Generally used to having things his own way these days. It's over.
Out of court.
Out of court, so
Advantage
4-5
server.
here. And as we've already said, had game points in most of the games earlier. You can only think of one quick one in this set. There's a chance. Yeah, that's trouble. Good get.
Very good get.
I've picked that shot from Camden there. There we go.
Who would have thought?
guy's
game.
just a machine.
4 games to 5.
It's in.
15 love. Better than the second gallery.
Game as if to say, now come on Camden, I don't actually want to be out here for any longer than I need to be. That points one tally looking much healthier now than it did.
Indeed.
That's a good shot.
It's a big point
30,
for Rob.
15.
Could give himself a real sniff of getting back to 5-all. If you can go in 40-15.
Yeah, attacking better than second gallery as well. So he's got a kind of a long chase to come. That's a good shot. Wowzers. This boy is on fire. Can't miss.
40-15.
Look at that.
Gee whiz.
Quick wipe of the hand halfway through the rally, and that's grill.
Receiver leads 40-15. Chase is better than the second gallery.
2 points in the bank. Well, that's not going to be good. Oh no!
Oh.
It is going to be good enough.
Well, there we go. 5 games
Game.
all.
5 games all.
Well, for our benefit, thank goodness the sun's gone in because it's more bearable in the van at the moment. So let's see if Rob can convert. Well, that'll help.
Better than the door.
That's what we call a non-genuine apology.
$15 love. Faults.
You'll be disappointed.
30 love. Right with that ball, Cam. Thank you.
He would have wanted that name or dead on to sneak in. Make it. Ooh, we can confirm has about
half a yard, has it?
Indeed.
Rob's gone for the full half a yard there just to make it not look too dodgy. But we can confirm from the camera angle that was definitely a hazard.
No bananas for Mr. Fahey, it looks like, at the moment.
No bananas on court at all.
Unheard of.
It's like Kieran stole them all. Kieran's got them all.
Receiver leads 30 love. First chase is better than the door. 40 love.
Set points again.
Hazard,
Set point number
better than
6.
half a yard. Hazard.
Hazard as well. Not an ideal situation for Rob here. That's a good shot. Yeah, there we go. Camden will be slightly relieved, I think, from that
Game,
fight back.
second set, 6 games to 5. Third set, level.
First time Camden's been tested so far in this tournament. Had the answers. Usually does. $15 love. However, the golden set is on. That's a good shot. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It lasted for 1 point.
15 all.
No golden set
Well,
at all.
No. Could have another 2 bites at the cherry in this match, though.
Indeed.
down. 3 up.
Yes, the
One chase.
Jovial,
15
friendly look seems to have vanished from Camden's face. He's
Yeah.
back into game mode again.
Yes.
Wouldn't have liked being taken to 6-5.
$30-15. Better than the second gallery. 2 chases.
I was looking at Camden's record earlier today, and we often look at lawn tennis players and their win-loss career ratio. Camden's, what do you reckon his win-loss ratio is in his career?
In percentage.
Yeah,
So are we talking about since he's ever picked up a racket?
match history. As
So we're not talking 10-year-old Camden
No,
playing
no.
a social match.
No,
So in tournament play.
Yeah,
Oh, it's going to be something horrible. Do I want to hear the answer?
I'm going to tell you anyway.
It's going to be above 75%.
It is
Receiver leads 30-15. First
But
chase
lower than
is
100.
3 yards.
correct. Wait for this point.
On the backhand, backing away.
30 all. Better than the second gallery.
Oh, that's a horrible length to have to deal with.
40-30.
Game point for Rob in this first game. Well weighted. Save.
Juice.
Ooh. That's a great shot.
Good length.
Using that sidewall to kind of slow the ball down as well.
Advantage receiver.
That was a rush of blood.
Juice.
Didn't want the first one to come back, I don't think. Great defence from Camden there.
Yes,
Not only
absolutely.
getting it, but putting it back on the floor. Cannot underestimate how difficult that is.
Advantage receiver.
What's that hit? Good leave. So
Yes,
I'm going to estimate.
Yeah,
Is it above
That's
80?
the one. Thank
it's
you.
above 80.
82%.
82%. It's a very reasonable guess, because an 82% win rate over your career would be pretty good.
It would be incredible.
It's 95%.
No, it's not.
It's 95%. It's unbelievable. And just as context, Robert Fahey is 79%, and obviously he started to fall. His numbers falling.
Yes.
Because he started to. He doesn't previously used to win every tournament, so your score was going up. But now he's not winning any tournaments, so his score was starting to go down.
I mean, that's 4 out of every 5 matches.
Server.
Camden is winning
Chases
9.5 of every
Hazard
10.
worse than 1. Hazard.
Yeah. It is scary.
That's quite a good percentage, isn't it? And knowing Camden like I do, he'll be absolutely fuming about the other 5%.
And I know we're a much smaller sport, but in the context, none of the top lawn tennis players have been anywhere close to that.
No.
A lovely shot.
Better than
Anything
the
you can
door. Juice, 1 chase.
95.
Yeah, it is phenomenal.
Bolts.
I even double checked it also.
Yeah, so
Gobsmacked.
that can't be right. Let me do the maths
Refresh.
again. Yeah.
The system gave me the same number.
Better than 2. 2 chases.
I forgot to look up yours, so I'm afraid I don't have that at my fingertips.
It's actually interesting you say that, because I was thinking for a long time it would probably be like something like 50%, because I was a perennial quarter finalist for a long time, so it would be win a round and then lose a round. So I was like, well,
yeah.
I would have, or I don't know what the percentage would be, but I was certainly operating at about 50% for a reasonable stretch. Now I'm kind of probably closer to 66.
Yeah.
Win 2 rounds, then lose.
Score is Juice. First chase.
But the reason that number is so
door.
staggering is that's any tournament play. So even as a youngster, you think, well, spend a few years doing your apprenticeship, losing a couple of first round matches, etc., etc. It's just not something he's experienced.
But I mean, you think about it, effectively, well,
Advantage server. Better than 2.
I'll wait to the end of this point. But
Yes.
yeah, every year, bar 2 in the last 10,
Juice.
he would have been at 100%.
Well, that helps the stats, doesn't it?
Oh, right, so we've got your record here.
No, I don't want to know that. Please tell me it's above 50.
It is above 50.
Oh, then fine. If it's 51, I'm happy.
Hold fire.
If it's above 60, I'm ecstatic. But I don't think it is.
Advantage server.
All right, let's wait. You look like you are desperate to give me this news. It's a good serve. Come on, get a chase.
Gallery?
Doesn't need it. Technically, that's a gallery.
Yeah, it is.
Juice.
Yeah, I didn't think Rob would be that interested in that one.
No, a step too far.
Advantage server. Worse than a yard.
So,
Drum roll, please.
Cam.
so
Rob,
you should
thank
be prepared to be almost ecstatic.
59.
60.
Oh, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, 60%. That's a great win-loss record.
I win more than I lose.
You win more than you lose.
I'll take that. That I think anybody should be happy.
Well, you win 3 out of 5.
Yeah. 60% win ratio, empty trophy cabinet. That's actually quite difficult to do, isn't it?
You must have won something.
Yeah, nothing meaningful, which I'm sorry to every tournament honours board that I'm on.
So I'm being told that we're looking at some other people. Brett McFarlane's win-loss ratio is 0.
Oh,
According to the website, he's at 0.
that would be from. We should point out that that's from a certain date. So
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Brett McFarlane has won
a match.
At
Yes,
some stage.
Of course he has.
Yeah.
Whenever the tournament started, they started pulling the data out of RTO.
Yes.
Brett's not that old.
How old is Brett? Head pro here at
52,
Hobart, for anyone that
53.
doesn't know.
Advantage.
54, I'm being told. Looks
Receiver.
10 years younger.
Chase is worse
Love to
than
look
1.
like that when I'm 54, if I get there. Fault.
I thought so too.
Juice.
6th juice in this opening game.
The last gallery.
So good.
Second gallery.
Very good.
Yeah, it
for
depends
that.
how you want to read into those stats, doesn't it? And like
Yeah.
from tournament to tournament, because I was actually, we've got the Seacourt Silver Racket coming up in the UK at the end of the month, which is the handicap
Championship.
singles. Yeah, which is always good fun. And I was saying to somebody the other day, bemoaning my form in that as one of the plus players is virtually impossible. And they were like, no, you can't be that bad. Found out that got somebody to run the stats. I've not won a match there since 2009.
Juice.
Congratulations.
First chase is the last
Handicap
gallery.
is not your thing. Handicap.
One set since 2009 I've won.
Maybe it's your handicap. They're overrating you.
Yeah, well, precisely. I have entered this year though, just for someone to have a nice easy first round.
Advantage. And time, please, Cam.
Well, Robert's not usually covered himself in glory in that tournament either.
Second chase
Well,
is
yeah,
the
but-
second gallery.
There's a bit of a theme there. The plus players do struggle. I thought that was in. Good hands.
Yeah.
There we go.
Some of
After
those-
a long opening game.
Yeah, some of these points,
Game.
I think it's like a cat
One
and mouse
game to love. Third
But
set.
I know who's the cat and I know who's the mouse.
Yes. A bit early on that one.
Yeah. Slower ball.
15 love. Fault. Oh. 15 all, and time, please, Cam. $30.15.
I was just thinking, as I saw Rob hit a dead on there,
40,
his
15.
target stats are still going to be very healthy in this match, and it got
Oh, yeah.
me thinking. We were chatting as the set 2 summary came up. Not a single opening for Camden in that set.
Wow.
Just rectified that.
Yeah, rectified that, exactly.
30-40.
It's not a commentator's curse, that's commentator's insight.
Yes, exactly. Being reliably informed that there may have been a couple of targets actually.
Game. One game all.
And I'm also reliably informed by the very helpful Jonathan Buckley that it's in fact 36 degrees in Melbourne this afternoon.
No play.
No play, the court will be closed.
15 love, and ball up, please.
I think 36 is warm enough, isn't it? But for somebody who operates on kind of, I think a 5 times table is extremely clean. Why 36? Where does that number come from? It's quite a random number. Is that like a specific number in Fahrenheit or something? It's not 100, is it? 36. It's going to be close. Put you on the spot there, haven't I? Are you telling me you don't know your Celsius to Fahrenheit? Isn't it like 2/5 multiplied by 4 or something ridiculous?
30 love.
It's 96.8 Fahrenheit.
So my question still stands. Why 36? It's a very strange number to play with. Oh, it stayed in.
I can't recall the details, but I know there was
15,
quite a bit of
30.
research went into the Melbourne assessment of what was the right number, and they did a lot of research.
Is that? I think the lawn tennis number is higher, isn't it?
Yes, and
yeah.
I think it was
Like
called the wet
30 old.
bulb measure.
The pardon?
Wet bulb measure.
Okay.
And it's taken at the court side. Because that's a different temperature to the air temperature. Temperature of the court.
Yes.
40, 30.
As we all know, it's a lot hotter on the court in a stadium.
Yeah. Wet bulb measure. Interesting. Not something I've ever heard of.
Again, it's an education listening to this commentary.
Exactly. I was thinking it would be something like the Duckworth-Lewis system.
It's far more complicated than that. It's good to see
Game.
Rob
2 games to 1.
in here.
Absolutely.
Doubled Cam's score in the early stages of the set.
Sorry. Nearly a yard worse.
No doubt the Melbourne metric, if applied in the commentary
No
box,
stroke.
we'd be out. The union rules would have had us not able to work.
Yeah, these are inhumane conditions. Wow.
And worse than the last gallery. 2 chases.
Yes, I'll be writing to the tournament director for some compensation for this one. We watch Camden there moving around the court just quickly like he does.
Yep. Great footwork. Always.
I remember the court being like quite rough. Yeah. Oh, is it?
No strokes. First chase is nearly a yard worse than the last gallery.
How civilised.
Sharp.
15 love. Worse than the last gallery. Faults. Time pull up, please. Through the net. Second serve. Worse than the last gallery.
That's a good one.
30 love.
Came forward to that one. Saw that might be coming, came forward, cut it off early, took a bit of time away from
30.
Camden. Brave move, but effective.
Serve and volley.
Absolutely. Where is it?
Out of court.
See it. I couldn't see that.
40,
Air traffic control
15.
warning for that one. So
Better than the second gallery.
if you were to go into the club here, then you would see photos. Oh, there's that Ollie Pridmore sitting there in the
Nick
sun.
Stenning.
Nick Stenning.
Hugo
Some of the-
looking
some
very
of the-
bored.
Some of the young troublemakers that we are used to around the club. But if you go look around the club at some of the old photos, Ben, you'll see the original floor on this court, which this is not, and it's actually about 3 feet lower.
Okay.
So think about where the galleries were compared to a human being if you dropped the floor 3 feet.
Well, I wouldn't be
Server
able to get
leads, 40-15. Chase
Yeah, I have
is
to-
better than the second gallery.
I wouldn't be able to get anything. And what was the old floor?
Flagstones, yes.
Big or small, like
about
a Lord's?
about a yard square.
Okay,
Yeah.
so kind of like an MCC
Yeah.
Lord's.
This court was modelled on the James Street court in Haymarket. It was the closest model. That's what he wanted there.
Game,
what
2
he
games
wanted
old.
it to look
Ah,
like. Yes, a court that no longer exists, of course.
those openings would have looked even smaller if you stood 3 feet lower. They look, oh, trust me, they're pretty small.
Yeah, so you see the pictures there, and the guys, the
Worse than the
gallery
second
ledge is
gallery.
kind of like at chest height.
Yeah,
It's quite unusual.
that would be unusual. That's quite strange because obviously you have the odd exception with a court that's
15 love.
alarmingly different, such as a Fontainebleau or an Oxford or something. But generally speaking, they're fairly universal in terms of dimensions. It must have been a completely different place.
Oh yeah. And let's be fair, how accurate do you think that the instructions to the builder for this court would have been? He was said
15 all.
he probably didn't have actual
Yeah.
architect's drawings of James Street. It's kind of just what I remember.
And also, obviously a
Better
builder doesn't
than
know
the
what it
second
is they're
gallery,
building.
2 chases.
So they just get told, right, put some breeze blocks there. I mean, they didn't even bother to plaster over the breeze blocks here. Bit of blue paint and off we go.
And I'm writing the history of this club at the moment, and I've seen the quotes. You know, they had 3 builders' quotes for this, and you know, it's there's nothing else to go on.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that's and it was, again, it was built for a guy whose house is next door, and it's just like people had a lawn tennis court in their backyard. Well, this was his tennis court in his backyard.
Yeah. Much like all, you know, plenty of the clubs in
15
the UK.
all. Goes, players are ready. Thank you. 15 all. First chase is worse than the second gallery.
Sharp.
30-15, better than the second gallery.
Oh, that's a broken string.
Yeah. Because the other thing here, this court, the
40-15.
tambour is both at an unusual angle,
Yes.
and it twists as it goes up.
Yes.
It's not 100% even. So
Yeah.
how does it stack up as tambours go versus others you've played?
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends where it hits it, I guess. But yeah, you do
40-15,
get. I think
no
generally
chase.
speaking, what you do here is you assume it's going to slide behind you, and then every now and then you can get beaten by the one that's a bit sharp. That's the better way to play it. Like that one. There you go. Thank you very much, Rob.
Yeah, exactly what we're talking
Exactly.
about.
But if that had hit
30-40 and time.
at that
please.
height, I think if he'd hit straight timbre, it would have been very square. But a bit higher up, it would have kind of slipped
Oh.
again. Another one of the
And time.
great challenges of this sport. Good get.
Yeah, this might be a bit hard. Oh, yeah, he's done it.
Wouldn't have been impressed with that. Where's the
2 yards.
2 yards.
Now, of course, for our listeners, the other important event going on this week is the Australian Real Tennis Open Table Tennis
Of course.
Championships, and a packed field of superstars in that event. Not necessarily superstars, I suspect, in table tennis, but
I think we've got a draw of 32.
32, and it's not a regular table. It's a real tennis court.
Server
tennis
leads
table.
40-30. Chase
White
is
with
2
galleries,
yards.
tambour, penthouse.
It's got a lot. It's exceptionally fun to play, honestly. Oof.
And how are you going in the
game?
Real Tennis Open?
Well, after my demolition on the real tennis court earlier, I decided to go and play my first round of the Australian Open real table tennis, figuring either it would really ruin my day or I might be able to
Hazard better than one.
make it slightly better. And I took on the home pro Jackson Pastor and I absolutely murdered him 6-1 in about 10 minutes. So I was happy with that. So I'm through to the last 16 ranking points.
Indeed.
And
do you know who you play next?
I've got the winner of Ben Gatenbeek and Lea van Zwanen.
And that's a match you don't often see in a tournament draw.
No, you're absolutely
15
right.
love.
But more importantly, my tournament win percentage is 100%. That's an all-time stat as well. So Camden, eat your heart out. As he slots a grill.
And I know that maybe the crowd here were hoping for Fahey to win this match. So there'd be
30
an
love.
all-Tasmanian final of the Australian Open, but Booth plays Fahey in the first round of the real table tennis match. So they will meet.
No,
That's
thank
an
you.
absolute humdinger.
Worse than 3.
Don't know how that came out of the
Thank you,
hat.
Cam.
Yeah, no seedings, of course.
No seeding, so yes, it's a remarkably open event, I feel.
I was having a look at the draw earlier. Saskia Bollerman's got through a couple of rounds. She's into the quarters. Ollie Pridmore and Nick Stenning were getting some practice earlier, which I thought was a bit cheeky.
Well, that almost disqualification material, I think.
Nick through to the quarters as well, and I must say he looked very handy.
A big lefty.
Yeah, he looked very handy on court. And to be fair, looked very handy in his match on the real tennis court. Obviously, he wouldn't have enjoyed the triple donut scoreline, but
Receiver leads 30 love. First chase is
he
Hazard
was hitting the
better
ball very
than
well
one.
in the warm-up. I was
Hazard.
very impressed. He just tried a little bit too hard, unfortunately. But clearly saving himself for the table tennis. That's a good shot.
40 love, worse than 3.
Rob's number has gone up though.
Yeah.
No, lost the chase, fell better
Big
than
pop off the back
4.
wall there. Good lead.
15,
Very confidently.
14.
Very confidently.
Game. 4 games
Here we
to
go,
2.
4-2. Just
I think
a bit of
this
daylight.
again is the vital 7th for Rob, I feel.
I think it's a little bit more important for Rob than it is for Camden, that's for sure. Oh,
He's a little tired there.
15 love.
didn't quite get through to him as much as he thought the ball there. It did seem to hold up a bit off the main wall. Yep, that'll do.
2 and 3.
Anywhere else? Yep, anywhere else.
Worse than 5.
I can't tell you. I cannot explain how good that forehand volley is. Every single place on the planet, apart from this exact moment. So we've got the dinner this evening.
Yes, at the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania.
Which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, you famously tell me that you don't wear real tennis ties to real tennis events, but are we seeing something this evening?
I am wearing a club tie tonight.
Yeah.
Server leads 15 love.
Hobart,
First chase
but
is 2 and
a
3.
subset of the Hobart Real Tennis Club.
Oh, this is the Drinkers Club.
I wouldn't like to call it that. This is a club for extreme fans, patrons of the club. I think
15
people patronise
all.
the club heavily.
Worse
Very
than
fitting,
5.
I would suggest, for the 150th
It's the Hobart
anniversary.
Pink Elephant Club.
Oh, brilliant. That's such a good shot.
Julian Snow is a member of the Pink Elephant Club,
30,
Is he?
15.
which was a unique achievement, bearing in mind he lived overseas and he still qualified as one of our most extreme patrons.
What a nice man. Go on.
Oh,
I shall be sporting an
30 all.
IRTPGA executive tie this evening.
but that's again another small club.
Oh.
It's an extremely small club and invitation only.
And they're the best sorts of clubs, invitation only.
Absolutely. The waiting list currently stands at 0.
You might have to tell people what that is in a moment.
Exactly. Oh no, is it going all the way round?
Double fault. 40-30, and time please, Cam.
Just put a little bit of pressure on himself with that double fault. 3-4's not where he'd want to be. Camden, this is. That's nullified immediately. That's so good.
I mean, to get it back with interest, Rob would have been disappointed with that outcome from there.
Yes.
Hit a great return of serve for that to happen. Phenomenal shot.
It's a little bit loose. Could it bounce in the galleries? It has. It's got away with one there.
The last gallery.
There.
Juice, one chase.
Go on.
Unlucky. So IRTPGA.
Advantage, one chase.
The International Real Tennis Professionals Golf Association. Committee of 3. President is Bryn Sayers. Chairman Craig Greenhouse, and I am the treasurer. Can you believe?
Gosh. And
so openly taking sponsorship offers if anybody wants to contribute.
I know you've got ties, are you as competitive on the golf course as you are on the tennis court?
It's played in slightly more relaxed atmosphere, but let me tell you,
receiver chases the last gallery.
Is trying their damnedest to win. I know that for a fact.
I know that for a fact too.
You can't just turn off the competitive edge, but it's great fun.
So tell me, who are the best golfers amongst the real tennis players?
Well, it just has to be Nick Howell.
Yep.
Nick Howell is the current IRTPGA champion, having won, so basically it's 3 rounds, Stableford, cumulative score. And Nick won that last year. Oh, yes. Playing off +6, can you believe?
Well back.
So he'll be lucky if he gets an invite this year.
Yeah, too good.
Well, I heard the second gallery.
Nick will probably correct me if I've got this wrong, but I heard that earlier last year he played Augusta just shortly before the Masters and went round at 2 over par.
I believe that is true.
Which is a phenomenal score.
Yeah.
So putting Nick aside, and of course he has been
advantage receiver chases
golfer.
Hazard, the second gallery. Hazard.
Who else?
So we've had 4. We're in year 5. First year was won by some bloke, and then years 2 and 3 Bryn Sayers. So the president won his own trophy, which so we had to penalise him handicap-wise this year or last year.
Lost it. Thank you.
Can't have him winning his own event 3 times.
3 games to 4.
That's game.
Well done, Rob.
Contentious. Well, I say contentious with absolutely no question of calling anybody's honour into question there, but quite crucial that has a chase. Wowzers.
5 yards. No strokes.
Oh, that has landed right on the line. Yeah. That has landed right on the line. Tough for Rob to have to call that, to be honest.
So who else?
More than a yard.
Good golfer, of the current top players, who else would you call a good golfer, including your good self?
Camden came along last year, which was amazing. I think he finished 3rd. Camden finished 3rd. So he was decent. I was 4th.
Is Steve Agana a good golfer?
I mean, as you can imagine, with Steve's real tennis style, he's all out.
Yeah.
There's no half measure.
No.
Steve strikes the ball incredibly well, as you'd imagine. He does have a tendency to what I would call
first chase
the power
5
fade.
yards.
Yeah. But when it's straight, it's miles. Perfect from Rob. Exactly what he needed there to win the
15
chase.
love. Second chase is more than a yard worse than the last.
I was actually planning on playing a bit of golf this week, but I haven't got around to it. It's a shame.
Well,
Some very good golf courses here. Barnbougle in Tasmania.
Is that right? Is that on the north coast?
Yeah.
Just outside Bridport? That's where I was going yesterday.
You come from Bridport.
Didn't go.
Here we go. So the people that designed Sand Valley are the same people that did
30 love.
Barnbougle.
Well, that's a small world, isn't it?
That's a small world.
That's incredible.
Better than
30
5.
love for Rob here.
Yep.
30 love,
It's
1
great to
chase.
see him staying competitive in this third set, because you maybe thought that with the heat and the age gap it might just be slipping away, but he's really sticking with it. That just looked awfully easy.
15, 30.
Yeah, I think Rob must have anticipated something down the line there, because he didn't really go for that, did he? Is it deep? Just a little bit deep.
Sorry, Cam. 1 and 2, thank you.
So do you play different courses for your kind of annual event?
Absolutely.
Are you tied to a real tennis tournament?
No, absolutely not. No, this is an opportunity to get away from that side of it. So we're in year 5. We did. This is testing me, isn't it? We've done Cardiff, Bristol, Bournemouth. Last year we did Liverpool, and this year, for year 5, we're going internationals. We're going to France.
Do they have golf courses?
Yeah, they do them all in metres though, so it's going to be a real struggle.
Niles the chase fell worse than 5.
Worse than 5.
30 all. Hazard 1 and 2. Hazard.
Very big point here.
Very.
Oh no.
Rob will
40, 30.
filthy with himself.
Yeah, 5-3 is tough to come back from. 4 all is significantly easier to negotiate. You'll get nullified. Oh no. 2 unforced errors there from Rob.
5 games to 3.
Come on, 3.
Just seems to have just sucked the life out of the crowd a little bit. You can see him muttering to himself there, not very pleased. Now let me tell you, from someone who's played here all week, both of these players here are reading that timbre exceptionally well.
Oh. 15 love.
Camden closing in on victory here.
Dominated the service end, as you can see from that stat.
$15 all. Nope.
Again, not only is he
30-15
getting that ball, but the length he's able to kind of...
It's naggingly...
It's just horrible to deal with.
Yes.
It kind of leaves you with a defensive boast out, and then, that's exactly what Camden wants. He's away.
Its ability to take the pace off it is fabulous.
Yeah, that dead weight ball, he's absolutely incredible at. That's a good shot. That's a great get. There's another one. Yeah, Rob doesn't want to go over there. And we see our first match point here.
40-15.
Just missed.
Oh, and there we go.
Set and match.
Game and the match to Camden. applause from Rob. Probably happy with his day's work there.
There are the stats, and there we see...
No targets for Camden.
I'm not sure the statisticians are quite 100% accurate at the moment, but yeah, I'm being advised that we might not have complete data for this match, but a very solid win by Cammy. We'll be happy to take a straight sets victory every time. Rob, I suspect, will be reasonably happy to put up a very respectable performance.
Absolutely.
And also allowing him enough time before dinner to cool down with an appropriate Tasmanian beverage.
Yeah, he'll need to. Both players will need to get their core temperature back down a little bit before dinner, I'm sure.
And of course, we're coming back tomorrow. We have the double semi-finals in the Open, and we have the ladies double semis as well.
Semi-final doubles day tomorrow.
Semi-final doubles day. And what time's your game playing with Rob Fahey?
Playing with Mr. Fahey.
Morning or afternoon?
6 p.m. Australian time.
Oh, crikey.
On a Sunday.
It's almost irreligious.
It's extremely unsociable, isn't it? Thanks, tournament committee. I did hear from the president earlier that it was something to do with the ability for people to watch worldwide.
Really? Well, I know there'll be a massive audience for you and Rob playing together.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Well, 7 a.m. English time.
And it will be against some crowd favourites.
A couple of Tasmanians.
In
fact, I will be the only Tasmanian or the only non-Tasmanian on court.
Indeed. You and Fahey versus Pridmore and Booth. It will be a crowd puller.
A barn burner, as they say.
Barn burner. I love that term. I heard Robert Schenk describe a match as a barn burner the other day.
We should just clarify, by the way, to everybody watching, that these are all San Pellegrinos.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. San Pellegrino, which in Tasmania comes in a brown glass bottle.
Yes. Yeah. All recyclable, of course.
Yeah, indeed. So I think we're ready to sign off.
Yes, indeed.
And it's been a pleasure, as always, to have a chat and also to watch the two greatest real tennis players of the last 40 years on court together. Wonderful.
Yes, what a semi-final, and congratulations to Camden. His win percentage has probably just gone up another percent.
Yes. 95.2.
Yes. And we'll look forward to the final on Monday.
Indeed. See you, everyone. Over and out.
Guys, that was a bit by ears are absolutely, but this bit by ears is weird.
That's what I think is absolutely brilliant about commentary, because I get to know each other and I just spout something that I know is probably shit. And then I wait for the stand to follow it.